Yo, 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 yo. It's Terrell Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that sweet, beautiful, wonderful shit. Man, I'm always looking for content. Ellis put up Ellis Herring. And if I mess up your last name, Ellis, that's what I do. But Ellis put up a post, and Zeb had resurfaced the post, Zeb Brooks, from about 7 or 8 years ago, judging by my car that was in the background. And I had talked about Sean from True Tank and Kurt from True Tank, who, pretty much they would explain their breedings. They would explain what they were looking for, and they would show you the results and the progress. And they had a ton of success, and I put them as one of my favorite, if not the favorite. I think I said they were my favorite breeders at that time. And you know what I mean? It was a big thing. And I want to expand on that because we have to remember the time frame, you know, and nothing can be taken away from what you're doing at a certain amount of time. And some people were like, okay, why did your list change? And it's simple. It's not a shot at True Tank Kennels at all. Their legacy will be locked in, but I also do believe that in the parameters of the rules that we breed in, you can sort of change, perspective if you go if you go a different way. And certain breeders in this breed have gone a different way. It's not that their skill level has diminished or whatever the case may be that you would call it, but it comes to being a certain time where we still have to represent the rules. And the rules of the game is healthy dogs. The rules of the game is sticking strict to the breed as it's supposed to be and not adding other things. The rule to the game is to be, honest about what's in our dogs and different things. And I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But the truth of the matter is why my new list had elevated Marco Suarez and Oscar Gomez to the top of my favorite list. Is bottom line is Marco will tell you exactly what he wants. He's showing you, with some of the newer dogs that he's putting out that still look like his old stuff, but even better versions, thicker, bigger, still great conformation. And guess what? The great thing about Marco is that his dogs are DNA tested, they are health tested, they are 100% what they're supposed to be. And that's admirable, and that gives you a bunch of bonus points. Longevity gives you a bunch of bonus points. Then you look at somebody like Oscar Gomez, and Oscar Gomez the same thing. He'll tell you what he's trying to make. He doesn't write the long post to tell you what he's trying to make. They're both just pretty much like, let me show you, because it's the Suarez look, or it's the it's the Oscar blueprint to what he's doing over there, with the Blue Pride blood. But at the end of the day, what is happening is that you are seeing with proof that you can breed a certain way and not destroy your dogs. And one of the problems is with some of the great breeders, and why True Tank fell down a little bit on the list for me, not because Sean's a bad person, but when the vision of Kurt doesn't really do anything anymore, but when the vision of the newer dogs that Sean was involved with started to change, from what we know, it was controversial dogs. It was dogs that weren't quite American Bully, and this is the problem. When you're an OG breeder or whatever the case may be, you may know how to do certain things. You may know how to make certain attributes, but you also understand that these attributes are like a 3 or 4 process type of breeding. What I mean by that is when True Tank was willing to talk about Brim and Grim and some dogs that, I mean, let's just be honest. We know that those dogs have health issues, and we know that those dogs have questionable DNA. Now, can Sean take one of those dogs, breed it a certain way, and make something better? Yes, but how does that help the breed really? Because if we're putting in dogs that have questionable health and questionable genetics and showing a propensity to produce dogs that die at a younger age, then if I'm making my list, it's not to say that Sean didn't do his thing with those dogs, but you definitely weaken the American Bully gene pool. So we can write out what we're going to do, but is what we're doing the right thing? And that's the question. You know what I mean? I still believe that the True Tank crew can breed like a motherfucker, and it's a few other breeders out here that I like what they can do with the stuff that they're doing it with, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that the stuff that you're making, you would have to keep it in your yard and perfect it for the next 2 or 3 generations in order for it to just be safe for the next breeders. Because you're not fixing these problems, you're not eliminating these problems in 1 generation, and you're reintroducing problems. Whereas if you take a breeder like Oscar Gomez, who's putting out dogs with sheer size, a ton of confirmation, and he's got all the DNA testing and saying that this is what I'm shooting for, but check it out, this is what it is. I'm not giving you a problem. I'm giving you a solution. When you look at Marco Suarez and he's going the extra mile and dealing with different doctors and this and that and the other to make sure that his dogs are on the highest level of health, but he still presents you a dog that when you see the picture, you're like, I got to like this motherfucker. That's a different level. It's not really necessarily about what you can do, it's about what you're actually doing. And in our breed, we need to be more focused on breeders helping the next generation instead of getting in our mindset that, hey, I can create whatever I want, and this, and if it looks good, I get a pat on the back. And like I say, a lot of breeders, including Sean, have sent me some remarkable dogs. Sean sent me a dog that looked a lot like Paco. But my question has always been with Sean and other breeders, and this is just an open thing. And like I said, I have no problem with any of these guys. But even like if we talk about switching out to Ron Ramos, what exactly are these dogs going to do for the breed to help the breed as problems are introduced from bloods that we know have problems with them? That has to go into your breeder rating. It just has to. If my legacy is breeders that it becomes a breeder who has passed on bad genetics to the people that I've sold dogs to or given dogs to, how does that not hurt my legacy? If there are set rules for what this breed is supposed to be and I'm deciding to loop outside of the rules to try to come back in stronger, I still cheated, you know? And this is just the way I see it, If I go over here and I add a very, it's a bulldog. If I go get me a nice ass oldie bulldog or whatever and hit it to some of my clean stuff and come back with a very thick, very heavy, type of dog, and I have paper hang, but it's still a nice ass dog. Am I still really as good of a breeder as the breeder who, on the flip end, myself, where I took a dog like Bistro and I took a daughter off of Denzel, and I made 100-pound pocket that was super bully, and breathe great, move great, live long life. You know what I mean? We have to go within the rules. Without rules, it's not really a competition. It's not really a sport. It doesn't mean that we can't appreciate what everybody does, but when we start making ratings, the ratings will only come in the parameters of the rules, and the American Bully rules have been set for a long time. And this is why I'm encouraging people to say either be in these rules or make a new set of rules where people who don't like to follow these rules can go over there and compete in those rules. But I still think that True Tank is a legendary kennel, one of the top 10 breeders of all time. That will never change. But the second part, since Sean has come back, he's done a lot of things with the breed that I think are experimental, and some of them are a violation. And that's the only reason why me and Sean never butted heads. But he's a good brother, and just like a lot of these brothers who are doing breedings and different things that I personally don't agree with, that's their thing. You know what I mean? Long run, we'll see how it all works out. I'm going to stick with the Oscar Gomez, Marco Suarez method of let's take the original American Bully blood and make the most complete dogs out of it. And in the end, it's like y'all say, it's a competition. We'll see who wins. But much love to all the brothers, and hopefully we all have the same goal of making this breed better. But until next time, much love. Peace.